But it's really good habitat for the bait fish. We've got a lot of bluegill out there and a lot of threadfin shad, and just gives them a good place to hide from the bass.
Tony's gonna put some chum out here, just right here at the dock. And we're gonna just do some channel catfishing.
Have you ever heard the term leaves of three, let it be? Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
David, what are you doing?
You'll hear it. I don't have enough education, Larry, to talk about it. I'm making my fish biologist, Stan, has we put a bunch of cedars in this lake out here, and they serve a good purpose, but they only last about 3 to 5 years, and
Yes,
then
sir.
they'll just break down and you don't have anything. And it takes a lot of weight to get those cedars down, and we were putting big cedars, and my biologist told me, he said, you need to make what they call a Georgia cube. And those over there, we've cut those 5 foot square. Then you put the black tubing around them, and it just makes really good fish habitat. We're cutting these down. Those are 5 foot square, and we're gonna make these 4 foot square. We'll be able to put those in a little deeper water and put these in a little bit shallower water. But it's really good habitat for the bait fish. We've got a lot of bluegill out there and a lot of threadfin shad, and just gives them a good place to hide from the bass and make a bunch of babies.
You know you're in Texas when you see bluebonnets. And you know you're in for some good fishing when you see a lake like this that's well managed. Absolutely beautiful area. This lake has just been set up this past year or two where they brought in a whole lot of forage fish. Same place which they're trying to build the Georgia structures as well too. And got a little bee working here too, so doing a lot of good. If you look closely, you can see the fish structures that are put up here, kind of artificial reefs that David's put in here. David and Edgar have been working on this lake now for a while, and they've really started growing a bunch of forage fish, and that's the secret to growing bigger fish of bass and any other kind of species, but particularly bass. They've got some absolutely fantastic forage fish in here. Kind of messing around a bit on the cotton ranch today. Brought a bunch of my handguns down, and this happens to be one of the old Rugers that I've shot a lot in years past. Got a actually a Zeiss scope on it, one of the 3 long eye release scopes that Zeiss ever made. And it's on a 44 mag shooting a Hornady 240 grain. Shot this thing in at 25 a while ago and tried to hit a 500-yard target. We've gotten close the last couple of times, and see if we can continue to get closer. I'm going to shoot about 5 rounds, and I'm going to let David shoot 5 rounds as well too, and see what we can come up with here. Here we go. think we shot over it.
Right over it again.
Shot over it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That might have hit it
I think it did.
because I saw.
I saw the same thing.
Yeah, I think it did.
Well, if anybody tells you you can't shoot accurately with a sharp barrel handgun with the right ammunition, they're probably wrong. I shot several times earlier trying to just figure out the wind and all that kind of stuff with this series. Shot it 3 times and went right over the top a couple of times, and the third time I think we hit it, I saw what looked like dust flying off of that, or paint flying off of it. Pretty interesting what you can do with those guns.
And you know, you didn't mention we've got a south wind blowing in your face. It's probably 5 to 10 mile an hour, and it's
Yes, sir.
it's variable.
It is. That's one of the things I think got us a little bit earlier. And I kept shooting over it, and I knew earlier I was shooting over it, and then we got under it, and I was trying to find that one sweet spot that we could get into, and I think we did it on that one. Let me turn this camera off, and we'll reload, David, and see what else we can do.
Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Stealth Vision, high-tech precision-driven equipment tailored for the modern hunter.
Well, friends, I am down here with my buddy, Mr. Tony Pennybaker, Guide Deluxe right here. Tony and I got out here early this morning, and we were going to go fishing. It came a deluge, big rain, but we're at the dock right behind your house, aren't we, buddy?
Yep, right on the dock, right in the backyard.
Right, and we're going to do some channel catfishing. Tony's got some good old sour grain and stuff right here that we're going
That ought to draw them in.
It'll draw them in. Here, one of the top guides in the state of Texas, Catfish guide, me and him fishing with corks here off the bank. But it was just too rough out on the water. So we just decided to sit back and I bet we're going to catch some, Tony.
I think we will.
I don't see how with that rain.
Give them minutes, they'll come running.
Got some good old cheese bait of some sort right there on our number 6 treble hook. So let's, you gonna bait it up, then we'll see what happens. What do you say?
Tony's gonna put some chum out here, just right here at the dock. And we're gonna just do some channel catfishing right here right behind Tony's house. Tony, that ought to do it. That'll call them in here, won't it?
That ought to have them coming.
You got a good one on there, don't you, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good there.
Right here off the dock. Folks, we've been fishing, we baited up in there. Yeah, get that rascal in here if you can.
I think I got him tired out here. Let's see if we can pick him up. Put him right over here on the dock.
Oh, yes, sir. I'll tell you what, folks, I'm on Tony's dock here behind his house. It was real windy. We just decided we'd bait up a spot off the dock here with soured grain and all kind of concoction here.
Well, we've been fishing a little while. We drawed in a couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice.
Let me
channel
pull in on him, boy.
right there.
That's a darn nice fish, you betcha.
Well, Tony, I tell you, buddy, I'm sitting on enough fish for me and you to have a fish fry in this cooler. We've been here, what, an hour? Got 4 or 5 fish in here, plenty to eat. I don't know if we want to really clean them, you know, and go up there on the bank and have a fish fry, or just keep catching them. I guess we need to just keep on fishing.
We might just keep on fishing a while.
All right,
We'll
Mr.
go from there.
Tony Pennybaker's been on our show many times, and I've written about Tony a lot. He's on the radio show quite frequently, keeping everybody tuned in on Tawakoni. Tony, not that you're going to take your guide customers here on the dock like me and you're doing, we're just friend fishing here. But if they want to call you, how do they reach you?
Oh, just give me a call, 903-474-3078. You can look me up on Facebook, Thunder Cove, Lake Tawakoni Guide,
Now, we're going to get back to fishing.
right now.
And later, we're going to cook some fish.
We might cook some there for a while.
All right.
A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Mossberg, American built, American strong. The YO Steakhouse, Catch and Release Apparel, AGM Global Vision, your go-to for thermal hunting scopes and spotters. Pyramid Air, your one-stop shop for everything air guns. And Vineyard Max Deer Products.
Hello, sports fans. It's Bill, the old man at Striper Express, with your fishing tip this week on Sportsman's Life. It is spring. It rains in the spring. We're going to talk about rain gear today. This is an economical little frog tog suit I bought. I went out and filmed yesterday. It rained. It was perfect. So, get you some rain gear. Our guys wear $300-400 suits. You can see some of these things go crazy. Josh just found one on the internet for $1,100. That's kind of extreme, isn't it? But this little frog tog suit, anything to keep you dry. No ponchos on the wind in the water. It just gets up over your head. It's like a dress. So rain gear, raincoat at least, to stay dry and go catch a fish. And there you go, guys and girls. It's time. Go catch a fish.
Have you ever heard the term leaves of three, let it be? Yep, you guessed it, this is poison ivy. It's really good to know exactly what it looks like, so when you're wandering out in the woods and you come across it, that you avoid it at all cost. Here is the vine going up a tree with poison ivy. There are several different types of poison ivy. There's poison oak, poison sumac, poison ivy. Any and all of them are something you definitely want to avoid. It's always good to wear a pair of gloves when working out in the outdoors and you plan to be working in and around poison ivy. Remember, poison ivy is actually an oil called urushiol that if it gets on your hands or on a tool and you grab it with your bare hands, yep, you guessed it, you're going to get poison ivy on your skin. And also remember to always wear gloves when pulling wild game out of the forest. They will have urushiol or poison ivy on their legs. This is a product called Technu. Using this product, if you think you've been in poison ivy, rub this vigorously all over the area where you feel that you came in contact with poison ivy, and it will take the oil right off of your skin. A great product to have around. Rinse off your arms and any part of your body that you feel came in contact with poison ivy, and it should clean it right off. Of course, should you get poison ivy, there's a product called Zanfel that if you put it onto the skin immediately after realizing that you've got poison ivy, it will reduce the itching, the weeping, and the swelling of poison ivy. And actually, you will find that this will clear you up in just a few days. This is another great product that you can buy at any local merchant. After rubbing it in thoroughly, then you want to wash the skin, and within a day or two, you're going to notice that that red, patchy, weeping, oozy spot is going to disappear. Just a few tips from your friends here at A Sportsman's Life.
Folks, this segment was brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Smoke Intex Electric Smokers, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, YO Ranch Headquarters, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro. Tune in next week for some more real-world outdoor adventures right here on A Sportsman's Life.